Well, hello, my pickles, my turtles, and my snowflakes. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto under 20. And Tammy from Keto in the Chaos did one of these taggets, and she tagged all of her subscribers. And so rather than being singled out, I love this. And so it's just 10 little questions, and I'll list them all. And it's kind of like a getting to know you sort of tag. And it's it's semi-serious. It's all about keto. And so here we go. How did I find keto? Well, it was kind of like one of those crazy kind of things. And what happened is that I began to hear a lot about Dr. William Davis, and his book had come out a few years ago, and it was the wheat belly diet. And so I was listening to him. I ordered the book, but I was listening to him especially when I was taking my walks. And he talked about giving up wheat. And I think he threw in sugar too. I'm not sure. At that point, I was doing Weight Watchers. It was the PPV, points per value program. It was August of 2015. And so I was maintaining my weight loss, which is about 20 pounds more than where I am today. And so, it was around 140-ish. And now I'm around, 123-ish. So, anyway, I had been maintaining, but there was something calling out to me about the wheat belly food plan. And when I would listen to the interviews, I would listen to his, what he was saying. And then when I got the book and it listed things that you could have, it was clear that it was no wheat, must have been no sugar as well. And then the next month, so I gave up wheat and sugar and became gluten free. So this is 2015. And then I think it was Total Health, came out the next month in September 2015, and I read that, and it was all grains. And so I had all this gluten-free cereal and pasta and crap that I bought, and off it went to the food pantry, and I realized, no, I'm going to do it all, not even having oats. And so out all the stuff went, and I became wheat-free, grain-free, and sugar-free by the end of September 2015. And I was still having fruit. I was still having lots of veggies. So I was pretty high carb still. It was like 75 carbs per day, but it was all veggies and fruits. I wasn't having any breads, brains. That's bread and grain combined. Wasn't having any of that. But I was still having fruit, and I was still having lots of veggies, and but I wasn't having high sugar fruits. Like I gave up bananas, and so I would have a pear every now and then. I like pears and salads, especially with I think it's feta cheese, maybe it's blue cheese, but I don't know because it's been so long since I've had fruit. So basically, what I would tell people is that I was following the wheat belly diet, but as you can come to see, if you just flip it over in the sunshine, like a map up there with the sun, it was basically the keto food plan. And so I began to watch podcasts and listen to doctors talk about the keto way of eating. And I was thinking, well, this is all close enough. And then finally, so that December 2015, away went all grains, all sugars of all kinds, artificial sweeteners, artificial sugars, and fruit. And so I became keto under 20. So I've been keto under 20 now for 2 years. And my anniversary was the end of December. And so this is the beginning of January. So this is when a lot of us make changes. So I thought that this would be kind of good so you could learn a little bit about the history. So I guess I was calling it no grains and no sugars um, and or low carb, high fat before I made the keto switch. And that's how it was an evolvement, like most of my food choices have been. It's just evolving as I learn more about each food plan that I've been on. But I'm now keto for life. Keto is my way of living, my way of eating. I am totally immersed. I can't imagine anything else. It's kind of like it's the only language I understand anymore. It's like I have this filter in my head and everything gets filtered through the keto filter. And so, yeah, inside and out, I'm keto, under 20. 2, when did I start? Well, I just explained that, didn't I? So I began keto under 20 in December 2016. Yeah, 2015. So, yeah, it looks like 3 years on paper, but it's really just 2 years. And so that's when I did it. It was around December 28th. I remember it was a few days after Christmas. And it was like, okay, I'm taking the plunge. I'm going under 20. You know, what have I got to lose? And so in that switch from giving up grains and sugars and fruits and all that kind of stuff, basically leaving Weight Watchers and going into low carb, high fat, I lost the 17-ish extra pounds. So I thought I was in maintenance on Weight Watchers at like 140, and then I lost the 17. Why did I start? Well, I was more than ready, and I really feel that women or older people, their metabolism slows down. They talk about, losing that weight, gaining the 10 pounds per decade or something like that. And it just felt kind of blah. I didn't feel that great. I didn't feel that bad, but definitely the keto under 20, it just sharpened things, it focused things, it just put a big red bow on it. So I just came to like understand, appreciate, feel good on it. The non-scale victories began to happen. And so maybe that's the question should be, why did I continue? So that's why I continued, because it just felt good all over, all under. How much weight have I lost? Well, at my highest weight, I was about 175, 180. But we're talking a decade's worth of different food programs that always lowered me a little bit along the way. So I never did the major regain. I just kind of hit walls with whatever program I was on, be it counting calories, being it the Weight Watcher, being with overeaters. It was always, my starting point was still lower than the 175, 180. And so it was one of those processes. So what I lost when I stopped low carb, high fat and got on the keto was, I would probably say 17 to 20 pounds. And the funny part is I did dip down to like 110 or 11. And then as I gained muscle mass, the weight came on, but the size stayed the same. So that's why they say it's always important to go by your measurements. And for me, it's how your jeans fit. Or if you're like me, your pixie pants from Old Navy. Those are my barometers, not so much the scale. What struggles have I had with keto? None really. The sugar cravings were just miraculously lifted. I'm so glad that there's Fathead Pizza, because I really would have missed that the most. That would have been my biggest struggle, to think that I couldn't ever have pizza anymore. And now I wouldn't know what regular pizza tasted like, because I've been having the keto pizza Fathead Pizza for 2 years, and I love it. The other struggles, I didn't have the constipation. I didn't have the jitteriness. I didn't have the keto. I had maybe 1 or 2 days of the keto flu. I thought I was experiencing a migraine. Greg brought me to the hospital. I was vomiting. And then I went, duh. It was like 2 days after I went to keto under 20 from the low carb, high fat with like my carbs at like 75. And so it was like, oh, that's what that was. It wasn't a migraine. It was a headache, but it was more like part of the keto flu. And so or if you are considering going on keto and you're watching this for like an early sort of introduction, make sure you get enough electrolytes. Make sure you get enough sodium, magnesium, potassium. So yeah, welcome the salt. And I do Dr. Price's electrolyte powder for starters. Then I use a lot, now I'm using Himalayan salt on things that I never would have before because no woman's ever going to eat salt because it'll retain, right? So that, and a lot of people like the bone broth, which is heavy in the sodium too. So that's part of the keto flu. How has keto changed my relationship with food? Oh, this would be question number 6. How has keto changed my relationship with food? It's totally changed my relationship with food. It's totally worked on the emotions as well. It just, I think that the most profound bump in my keto food plan was at 1 year. I now do intermittent fasting, and I have 1 meal a day. So it's like 23, 24 hours a day, and then I'll have my 1 meal. And that has been the most profound because I do have 2 bulletproof coffees in my non-eating fasting window, though. I'm a fat faster, I guess I would call it that. And Dr. Fung gave us permission for bulletproof coffee, and Miss Joyce has 2 bulletproof coffees, and so Miss Sarah's having 2 bulletproof coffees. So that's how I operate. And so it's totally changed my whole outlook with food. I'm not craving, and I don't understand how people that can do keto under 20 want to cheat and do cheat. I don't understand. Maybe it's because they're also having keto-fied foods, and so they just want the real deal. I don't know. But having strict keto, and strict keto for me means weighing and measuring, no keto-fying, no breads, no cookies, none of that stuff, no making tortillas, none of that. The only thing I do is the fathead pizza. But all the other stuff I just don't partake in. And so I'm not doing visuals in my head about, certain things like the cookies and the cakes and the breads, not doing that. And so it's kind of like, it's like my drinking, it's like my smoking. It's like when I did my drinking, when I did my smoking, I enjoyed every single one probably until I didn't anymore. And so I knew that I'd had my quota of cakes, cookies, ice creams, breads, and all that crap, that standard American diet, and it was just time for a change. And I guess because I'm black and white with my food, I'm lucky that way because I've had a few videos lately about black and white food issues, food handling, my keto food plan. And so it was just easier for me. It's a no. It's not you can have it 3 times a week, 2 times a week. I know that before I went to keto, when I was in my gaining weight part before Weight Watchers, I was doing that, which only proves what an addict I am. It's like, well, you will have your little dish of frozen treat with frozen candy on it once a week, and then the once turned into 2, and then the 2 turned into 3, and then it turned into 4, and then that's food addiction. That is alcoholism. That is smoking cigarettes. I can't have 1 in safety. And 1,000 are never enough, and 1 is too many. It's that 1 bite theory philosophy. I can't have a bite of any of those things. I can't entertain it. It's dancing with the devil. And so that's how it's changed my life. I realize that within the structure of the keto under 20, I am safe. I am safe. I'm satiated. So safe and satiated are probably the keto food plan and how it's changed my life and my relationship with food. Number 7, has keto changed any other areas of your life? Yes, it's kind of like defragging the food addiction. It's like it puts things in its proper place, when you defrag your computer and it does all of that kind of, wonky stuff. That's kind of how it has worked in the rest of my life. I weigh myself once a week. It's just a barometer. It's not going to throw me into a panic. I'm not going to like walk out to the, and climb the bridge and get ready to jump on the jagged rocks. It's none of that. It's just tools, and it's accepting body fluctuations. It's accepting being a woman in menopause, postmenopause. It's just calmed me down. It's calmed me down where it's like the whack-a-mole, and that's how I used to be with food issues. And when the food was like being regimented or structured or something, then it was like I was going to let my anxiety in another area show up, like, will I have enough money to, will I outlive my money? That kind of stuff that is like, what? It just, I can stay up all night worrying about it, or I can just live the day. So today I choose to live the day. And so the keto has calmed me in so many ways. With anxiety about the next, I always had anxiety about the next, the worry, well, what about? I couldn't stay framed in this 24-hour period. So when I wake up in the morning, I ask my higher power to like keep me in the day. So what do I do? What are my little routines and rituals of the day? It's the lemon water, it's the bulletproof coffee, it's the walking, it's the putting my food into the chronometer where I track my food. It's doing little errands and grocery shopping and maintaining a level of tidiness around the house. It's just all those sort of things that I just do well in. I never did chaos well, and food was always the bonus ball. If my life was out of control, I'd start thinking about what I was going to have for dessert, and how big that piece of something or that bowl of something was going to be. And it was crazy. And that's why it's so amazing that the sugar cravings have been lifted from having the keto food plan. So it's totally changed my life. It's changed my craziness around the scale, around my size, just the weight, all of it. It's just slowed me down. 8, do I think keto is sustainable for life? Well, yeah, a salad, a veggie, and a piece of, animal protein. What's not to like be able to like about that for the rest of my life? I love it. Do I think the one meal a day is sustainable should be the question, but that's not the question. So I'm hoping that my one meal a day, my intermittent fasting, the way that I do it for 23, 24 hours a day, is what will hold me, because I have never felt so clean and sane about food. And the food addiction doesn't even feel like it's a food addiction anymore. I know I'm a bite away from it, just like I am with alcohol, just like I am with cigarettes, but it doesn't own me like it did before. It doesn't own me. I get excited about the meal that I'm going to have, but it doesn't own my life. So, number 9, would I recommend keto to others? Yeah, but I kind of keep my mouth shut when people start talking about what they're going to have. Like one of the sergeants has put on about 50 pounds. When I worked there 15 years ago, he was a rookie. Now he's a sergeant, and he's put on about 50 pounds. He says that his doctor says he's obese. I look at him and I say, heart attack. I did mention that I do the keto diet, and he goes, oh, no, I don't, and it's like, oh, that's right. I don't talk to people about this any more than I would talk to somebody that's behind the cell for OUI, operating under the influence. I wouldn't talk to them about AA. I just, keep my mouth shut. They're supposed to hear what they're supposed to hear when they're supposed to hear it. And, if the sergeant said to me, you're much smaller than when you worked here 15 years ago, what are you doing different? Well, then the door is open. But no, I don't bring it up first. And I love to listen to what people think works. Somebody paid $2,000 to go to one of those chemical places that you go and you drink magic drinks and yeah, and $2,000. And did it work? No. Just saying. So I think I think being satiated and sane on keto would work for me. And number 10, the final question: what are your keto goals for 2018? I am going to repeat these questions real quick with the number at the end. My keto goals for 2018 is to remain the same. It's that simple. Just practice what I do today for tomorrow, and then go to sleep abstinent with my food and wake up and practice it all again the next day. Just string along the days of food abstinence because it has made such a difference in all areas of my life. Food has been an addiction for me. I remember since 9 years old, and I'm now 67. So, you do the math. That's an awful lot of years of being obsessed with food and feeding the addiction. So, yeah. My keto goals are to have everything be the same. Diseases stay away. I continue to sleep. My weight stays the same. My pixie pants fit the same. I remain content, satiated, and sane because this is the only thing that has worked on my food addiction plus the weight in all of my life. Okay, so whoever wants to do this, I hope you do it. If you have your own channel, do it on your channel and tell me that you've done it on your channel so you can invite your subbies to do it too. If you don't have a channel, if you just want to answer here, that would be great. Happy freaking New Year. And I hope all of your new keto habits are beautiful for you and do the trick and just work in ways that nothing else ever has. On a side note, I do offer my keto one-on-one coaching, and it's ketocoachingsarah with an H.com. And so that's my only plug. All right, so the keto tag team. 1, how did I find keto? 2, when did I start keto? 3, why did I start keto? 4, how much weight have I lost on keto? 5, what struggles have I had with keto? 6, how has keto changed my relationship with food? 7, has keto changed any other areas of my life? 8, do I think keto is a sustainable way of eating for life? 9, would I recommend keto to others? And 10, what are my keto goals for 2018? So thank you so much for watching, and you have your assignment. It is not required homework. You know where I require homework. This is not one of those. This is just a getting to know you tag. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20, just for today. It will work for you too. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.